Good morning. How the devil are you doing this fine day? Me, despite what my jumper might suggest, I'm in pretty serious mood today, and I'm also dedicating most of today's show to the subject of health and safety and to the latest proclamation from the Health and Safety Executive. So there's no fancy schmancy videos, no music, none of that. Let's roll the intro and get this show on the road. Welcome to the Breakfast Show. I'm your host, Mark Anthony. It's Tuesday, the 21st of December, and as that remarkably persistent guy just said, welcome to the Breakfast Show. I am your host, Mark Anthony. In today's show, we're going to be looking in depth at the latest pronouncement from the Health and Safety Executive on the dangers of demolition. We're going to discuss why such a pronouncement is still necessary in this day and age, and why the UK demolition sector has been targeted in this way. We've also got news about Caterpillar unveiling a couple of new hydraulic breakers. But first, let's see who among the rich and the shameless will be celebrating a birthday on this day of days.
Happy birthday!
And it's many happy returns to former British Prime Minister Benjamin Disraeli, to the part of the publishing giant Mills and Boon that wasn't called Mills, John Boon, to actress, fitness video star and serial protester Jane Fonda, and to the golden girl of tennis, Chrissy Evert, to actor and comedian Ray Romano, and to Jack Bauer himself, actor Kiefer Sutherland. But far more importantly, a very happy birthday to a man who has turned excessive swearing into both an art form and a career, Mr. Samuel L. Jackson. Many happy returns to them, one and all. There can be little question that the UK demolition industry has made huge strides in the past 20, 30 or 40 years. It's embraced training, harnessed technology, and played a key role in safeguarding the environment. Although there's still a long way to go, there have also been moves to bring more women into the fold. And even though it appears to have made very little difference to the suicide rate among workers within the industry, the sector has also ticked the box marked mental health awareness. But there is one area of demolition in which the industry remains firmly rooted in the past, and that is its accident rate. No, it's not killing workers at the same rate as in years gone by, but injuries, incidents, and even fatalities still occur and at a higher rate than in most other occupations. Little wonder then that the Health and Safety Executive has called upon the industry to double down on the planning, management, and control of demolition work. Now, we all know that the HSE has hardly covered itself in glory these past few years. This is, let us not forget, the organisation that has taken almost 6 years to investigate the cause of the Didcot disaster, in which 4 demolition workers were tragically killed back in February 2016. The fact that it has still failed to present any findings or to pursue any prosecutions is a disgrace that surely weakens the HSE's perceived leadership. I would personally question that leadership still further based upon the wording of its latest pronouncement on demolition, in which it reminds contractors that good health and safety management increases the likelihood of contracts coming in on time and within budget. Surely not maiming or killing anyone is sufficient incentive without having to play the money card. All that aside, the HSE's call to the industry comes after yet another year in which the demolition sector has been found wanting in the health and safety department. I'm going to continue right after this. In the past year, the HSE has dealt with a number of prosecutions involving severe injuries and fatalities as a result of poorly planned demolition work. These have included A contractor who suffered serious injuries when a single-storey roof he was demolishing by hand collapsed at a construction site in Cobham. We reported on that one just yesterday. A 64-year-old man was killed when a garage wall at a garden in Hampshire collapsed on him during demolition after a contractor who was operating a digger failed to put an exclusion zone in place while carrying out the work. A 21-year-old employee was killed while dismantling a redundant grain drying tunnel at a farm in Kent when a farming partnership failed to ensure the integrity of the structure during the dismantling process. An employee who sustained injuries to his shoulder and a fractured heel and ankle when he was hit by falling debris on a garage wall in Clitheroe that was being demolished in an unsafe manner. A contractor who was prosecuted for disturbing asbestos and damaging underground cables during demolition works at a site in Blackburn, causing severe disruption to services. And the operator of a cherry picker who sustained life-changing injuries when he became trapped during a demolition operation at a site in Greater Manchester. An HSE investigation subsequently found that the vehicle he was operating was not suitable for the task and had not been fitted with the proprietary devices to avoid the likelihood of operators being crushed. Accidents and fatalities, all avoidable, and yet still happening in the demolition arena right here in the UK. How many other sectors, I wonder, receive safety guidance that actually has to remind the industry of the risks and dangers that should be common knowledge? Yet the HSE statement goes on to point out that the age of the structure should be considered prior to demolition, and that structural instability can be a problem in buildings that are old, decayed, or poorly maintained. It's hard to tell whether the use of language in this statement is born out of frustration at still having to repeat these age-old warnings, or whether the HSE now merely considers the demolition sector an errant child. I'll be back with more after this.
Axoft and Svantec are your high-end partners for noise, vibration, dust and air quality systems, sensors and software. To find out more, visit axoft.co.uk or call 01234 639 550.
Way back in 2009, it was suggested that HSE inspectors might ultimately be effectively barred from entering sites, with companies arranging their own externally audited safety inspections. That idea was put forward by the then Shadow Business Secretary, Ken Clarke, and was known as earned autonomy. In the 12 years that have passed since, the UK demolition industry has proven time and time again that it is incapable of earning any such autonomy. It has injured, maimed and killed so many individuals in that time that to list them here would probably make this our longest ever episode. The very fact that the HSE has felt it necessary to issue this far from subtle reminder proves that the UK demolition industry still has a severe safety problem. Despite all of that, the industry gathers regularly to pat itself on the back and to dish out awards and trophies to acknowledge its accomplishments. It makes bold claims about best practice and codes of conduct. But what are those practices, codes and trophies actually worth when there remains a question mark over all workers returning home safely to their families each night? How far has the industry really come if the HSE considers it necessary to issue a reminder that buildings can become unstable during demolition? And just how just how professional is an industry in which accidents and fatalities are greeted not with a scream of outrage, but with a shrug of resignation and familiarity? Now, if I'm very, very quick about this, let's have a look. I'm going to post a link to the full HSE statement over in the chat right now. Let's have a look. There we go. That's yeah, you should be able to see that now. I'm going to be throwing this one open in the chat immediately after the show. Just bear in mind, I am scheduled to be on a very important Zoom call at 11 o'clock today, so I can hang around. Where are we? We're 10 minutes in, so I've probably got 40 minutes to hang around if anyone wants to hang around for quite that long. Let's roll something else to break the mood a little, and I'll come back right after this.
The Miller GT series heralds a new era of unrivaled power, and cutting-edge intelligent coupler technology, increasing job site safety, machine versatility, and productivity. It's the added versatility that you need at the value you can afford. To find out more, visit millergroundbreaking.com.
Now, here's a fine example of the industry looking after its own. $20 million of your finest English quids have been set aside for the creation of a new 6-storey construction skills centre for client HS2 Limited. The skills centre is to be built in London's Camden town on the site of the existing Maria Fidelis School. But before any of that can take place, 3 existing buildings on the site require the attention of a competent demolition contractor. And at the time of broadcast, a suitable demolition contractor has yet to be appointed. You can find out more about this project lead and many more just like it over at buildersconference.co.uk. And finally, just in time for Christmas, Caterpillar has unveiled a pair of new hydraulic breakers, the H190S and the H215S, which would make a very, very pleasant change from pairs of socks, wouldn't it? The new H190S hammer is sized for operation on Cat 349 through 374 models, while the larger H215S is designed for the 374 and 395. Auto Stop instantly terminates hammering when the tool breaks through material, preventing damage to both carrier and hammer. Caterpillar's next-gen excavators automatically recognise both models and prompt operators to select the correct tool program. Through the CAT Excavator's product link technology, users can quickly locate the hammer attachment using the CAT app. Hammer pressure and flow rates are viewed on the in-cab monitor and can be configured manually or automatically using the touchscreen display. A standard onboard auto lube system provides continual greasing during hammer operation to improve attachment longevity. To find out more about to find the more detailed specs, I'm just going to post a link over in the chat. Let's have a look. There we go. You should be able to find more about those new cat breakers right about now. Yeah, that's come up now. So let's press the next button.
Sorry to interrupt the guy with the funny glasses, but if you're enjoying this video, please hit the like button as it helps our channel. Or better still, share this video with a friend or a colleague. Thank you. Right, back to Beardy.
Right, that pretty much wraps up the main part of today's show. I'm going to roll the outro in just a second before leaping gazelle-like over into the chat to see what you're all saying today. I'll be back here on the morrow, usual time, usual place, for more of this old stuff and nonsense. But and hopefully it'll be a bit more cheery tomorrow. But until then, stay safe. Really, really stay safe. Look after yourself, look after your family, look after your friends, and obviously look after your colleagues. It shouldn't require saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. Thanks for watching, and let's roll that outro.